This is episode 7 of the A Free Spirit Life podcast. Hey everyone, I'm Shannon Kinney-Duh, creator of this space, and I'm so happy that you're here joining me today. Thank you to all of you who have left reviews and rated the show. We are still celebrating the launch of this podcast, so you can go to iTunes, rate and review the show, and email me, shannon@afreespiritlife.com, and let me know, and you will be entered to win from fabulous prizes that we're giving away all month long. So, how are you today? You know, when I record a show, if I don't have a guest, which I have some coming up in the next episodes, but today when it's just me chatting, I like to tune into what I've been exploring, what I'm studying or learning about myself. And I love to share it with you because it seems to be that when I share what I'm going through, it finds those people who need to hear it. It speaks to you in some way. And I always learn so much from you and your sharing. So it's important that we put ourselves out there and that we, feel vulnerable in our sharing, because that's when we connect and that's when we heal and grow. So sometimes when it's just me chatting and I'm doing these shows, I'm finding myself feeling a little resistance and nervous. And I think that's, again, related to my own healing that's happening around doubt and trying to please others and wanting to make sure that what I'm saying resonates with you. And, I can't please everyone. And when I continue to practice being truthful and being vulnerable and putting myself out there, I'm finding that I'm getting the letters and the emails and meeting the right people that are sharing that this is resonating, that, what I've said today has touched them in this way. And that's what this is all about, isn't it? Really just all of us connecting in a deeper way, being honest and doing things that make us feel vulnerable. And so I'm just sharing that with you because maybe there's something in your life that you've been wanting to do, something you've been wanting to try, something you're nervous about doing, and you're hesitating. You're not putting yourself out there because it feels scary and you do feel vulnerable. And I hear you. I feel that way pretty much all the time these days when I'm recording a podcast episode, when I'm doing life coaching, when I'm connecting with the people in my circle. It just seems that I'm continually facing a new fear. And that's scary, but it's also really good. So keep doing that in your life. Today, what we're going to talk about is bringing a sense of balance and openness and clarity in regards to our energy. We talked a little bit last week about the chakra system. I'm going to dive a little bit more deeply into what the chakras are and how it can help you feel more balanced, grounded, and clarity in your life. And if you didn't listen to episode 6, we do talk more about getting grounded in the midst of chaos. And today we're really going to explore what are the chakras? How can knowing about your own chakras, where you feel blocked and where you feel more open, how that can help you bring more balance and help you feel more energized in your life. So you've probably heard the word chakra. Some people call them chakras. Chakras. What they are, think of it like a center of energy. You might think of it like a wheel of energy. And there's 7 main chakras in your body that are along the spinal channel. They actually are connected to the endocrine system, but symbolically, they also bring the mind and the body together. So, as a yoga teacher, I've been taught that our prana travels. So, our prana is your life force. The prana is your energy, your spirit that animates your life. And if you imagine that the prana travels on what's called nadis, these channels, nadis, Nadis. The prana is traveling through these channels, and these channels are crisscrossing all throughout the body. And where at the vortex of where they crisscross along the spinal channel, they form these wheels of energy, which are known as the chakras. There are 7 chakras, and 7 is a really important number. It's cool to think about the symbolism of 7, the lucky number 7. There are 7 colors in the rainbow. There are 7 notes in a scale. There are 7 days of the week, and there are 7 main chakras. And there's at the base of the spine is the root chakra, and it travels all the way up to the crown. And I'm going to just give you a very simple, brief description of each of the chakras, and then what happens when we have an imbalance in each chakra. So when we feel a block or we feel a certain imbalance, there are things that manifest in our life that are related to what's going on in those energy houses. So I'll get more into that in a moment. And like I said, I'm not going to get totally overly technical with you in this show. I really just want you to think about it as symbolism. So far in these episodes, we've been talking a lot about intuition, following your heart, listening to your body, honoring your energy, learning how to observe your mind. These are things that can help you go inside and get really in tune and in touch with who you are and how you want to live. And so this is just another tool in your toolbox when you're learning more about who you are, this self-discovery road that you're on. Learning about the chakras is just a fascinating study, because you'll see some relationships to if you have certain things that are keeping you feeling stuck in fear or feeling really unstable, or maybe you have trouble speaking your voice and putting yourself out there or communicating, that might be related to an imbalance in your chakras. So we've talked a little bit about the chakras, envisioning those are energy centers that travel along the spinal column. These energy centers, think of it like it's a place where you process energy, and it's also where you process information and emotions. It's also where you transform energy and learn how to use it effectively in your life. So when you think about certain emotions that you feel, when you have that pit in your stomach, that might be connected to your solar plexus, your chakra in your belly. And that pit in your stomach, if you don't learn how to process those emotions, if you just hold them or repress them or never let them go, then it might be affecting or even blocking that particular chakra. So think of this exploration of the chakras as a new way of seeing your mind-body connection. It's like where your mind and your body intersect, and how we carry our emotions affects how open or closed we are in these particular chakras or energy centers. So let's go over the 7 chakras. Each chakra has a color, a food, an element, animals, scents, parts of the body that are all associated with that particular chakra, and even sounds. And so I'm not going to go over all of those details, but let's talk about what each one represents, at least from an emotional perspective. So the first chakra, known as the root chakra, it is located at the base of the spine in your tailbone area. And this root chakra represents your sense of groundedness, whether you feel grounded in life, your foundation, how stable you feel. It really has to do with your physical needs, your shelter, your food, are your needs being met? And so when you have an imbalance in the root chakra, you might have a fear that money is going to run out. Maybe you don't feel very stable in your life. Maybe you don't have a healthy relationship with food, or you tend to hold on to things. You might even hoard things because you just have this underlying fear that your physical needs aren't going to be met, or they're going to run out at some point. Some of the emotional issues that you might see is, the survival imbalance, and you might not feel financially secure, as I mentioned. So really has to do with the symbolism of this root chakra is financial independence, money, and food. So if it sounds like in your life that you are always focusing on your money issues, or maybe food is an issue for you, then you might want to pay some attention to how to balance your root chakra. The second chakra, the sacral chakra, that is connected, it's located in the lower abdomen. So it's just a few inches below your navel. And it is really your connection to others, and how to accept new experiences. It has to do with joy, with sexuality, and with creativity. And so it's really related to the sense of abundance, the sense of well-being, pleasure. And if you're feeling like a sense of lack, if you're feeling taxed all the time, maybe the joy or creatively stunted, that might be something to look at in your second chakra. The third chakra, the solar plexus chakra, it's located in the upper abdomen, in your belly area. It's your sense of self. It's your identity. It's your ego. It's your ability to feel confident and in control of your life. So the emotional issues there have to do with self-worth, with self-confidence, with self-esteem. That is what I've expressed, my feelings of self-doubt, if I get to that place where I'm not feeling worthy, then I have to really look at what energy I'm holding, what blocks I'm feeling in the solar plexus. So those first 3 lower chakras, we're moving up the spinal column. The first 3 lower chakras really have to do with the physical outer world. And then we have our heart chakra. The heart chakra is so amazing. It's kind of the bridge between the mind and the body. It's between the upper and the lower chakras. It's truly has to do with our ability to love. It's at the center of your chest, right around the heart area. It has to do with the emotional issues of love, of joy, of inner peace. It's really bridging matter and the physical with spirit. when you feel blocked in the heart chakra, you might feel maybe you overwork, maybe you work so much that you've forgotten how to play. Maybe you feel like your responsibilities in life are so abundant and so too much to handle that you feel like joy and love are kind of being sucked out of life. Maybe you kind of hunch over a little bit or turn in. So many of us do when we're looking at our phones or we're working on the computer. And so you might need to practice opening your heart center, rounding your shoulders, and letting your heart lead the way. Maybe you've been hurt a lot, and so you feel very protective of your heart. Those are things to explore when you're looking at bringing a sense of balance to the fourth heart chakra. The other thing that I find so fascinating learning about the chakra system is when you think about the heart center is really the only one that has a horizon where your arms are extending out from it. So that symbol of hugs or wrapping yourself around another, that sharing love, that all has to do with the heart chakra. I just think that's a cool visual. So the fifth chakra has to do with your throat chakra. And this has to do with your ability to speak your truth, your ability to communicate. It has to do with verbal self-expression. So if you're feeling like you can't say what's on your mind, you can't express it, you are afraid to share your truth, you're afraid to speak up, you're afraid to speak up for another person, you're worried of what other people may say, and so you bite your tongue, you don't say it. All of these have to do with the throat chakra. So really reflecting in your own life what keeps you from speaking up. How do you communicate? Do you kind of ramble all over the place? Do you say what you think will please others, or are you truly being authentic and speaking from your heart? Do you get sore throats a lot? Do you feel a gripping in your throat when you know that you have to speak up, but you can't when you get angry or upset? Exploring the symbolism in your throat chakra when it feels closed and when it feels open. That's the fifth chakra, your ability to communicate and express yourself through words. The sixth chakra is located at the third eye. So it's going to be on your forehead and it's just between the eyes. This is your ability to see the big picture, to have a vision of where you're going, and how to focus on that vision. So this is all related to your intuition, your imagination, your ability to think and make decisions. It's also to do with your just relationships based in love. So when you have that sixth sense, you think about that third eye, that sixth sense, that ability to see things and not have to know why or how, but you just know it. You know it and you see it and you trust it. That is the sixth third eye chakra. And then the seventh chakra, the crown chakra, this is your ability to be connected to source. So it's really about your ability to see that everything in life is connected, that we are all one, and it's your connection to that. It's your awareness and how you open yourself to that. So let's take the root chakra as our example for how you can, just knowing about it can bring more balance and more energy and overall well-being to your life by exploring each of the chakras. So we'll start at the root chakra. The first chakra, as I mentioned, is all about your physical needs. So when you think about it, it's your base. It is your foundation from which your whole life is built upon. And your first chakra is really fully developed when you're in utero all the way through 12 months. So it has a lot to do with your first 12 months of life, your connection to your caregivers, and how your needs were met during those first 12 months. It's about your sense of self in the world, whether you felt safe, and whether you still feel safe. If you don't typically feel safe in your life, where you feel like your money's going to run out, you're never sure where you're going to live, or just you feel like you're always building things on a very unstable ground, then you definitely want to explore what's going on in your root chakra. Well, how do you do that? So one thing you can do is think about what it feels like if your root chakra were balanced. You would feel really grounded in your day-to-day life. You'd feel strong, you'd feel stable, you'd feel comfortable in your body, you'd feel comfortable with food, you'd feel comfortable with your finances, you'd feel generally comfortable in the work that you do, you'd feel connected to it, and you'd feel comfortable in the world. When you feel imbalanced in the root chakra, you may have a sense, you might overeat, you might feel like you're overweight from time to time, you might have an unhealthy relationship with food, you might feel like your finances are never stable, you might feel anxious, you might just have a general sense of fear in your life or about the world. And so as you're listening to this, I could probably bet that for most of us, we feel not 100% safe all the time. We don't feel 100% grounded all the time. So just with energy, when you think about your own energy levels, they go up and down. You're also going to feel that in your energy centers. There's going to be moments where you feel completely in balance, and there's going to feel moments, depending on what emotions were triggered, how much sleep you had, what you ate that day, what was going on in your life, everything that can affect your energy level or what's being open or what's feeling blocked. So, in general, though, if you feel like this is a constant for you, that it's pretty consistent where you feel fearful in your life, you don't feel that you have a strong foundation, then you would want to do some exploring on how to ground and open this particular chakra. And as you do that, it will start to affect the energy in all the other chakras because they're all related. So, how do you do that? Well, one of my loves being yoga, there are yoga poses that you can do to open your chakra. And if you go to my website and look up the show notes for episode 7, just go to afreespiritlife.com. I will share some links so that you can dive more deeply into this knowledge. I've got Pinterest board about the chakras, but I also can share yoga poses that will help you open the root chakra as well as the other chakras. And another thing that we're doing in the Live Freely Circle is we're using creativity as a tool. So we are exploring every single chakra has a different color, as you can probably imagine. You've seen them. I'm sure that they're related to the colors you see in the rainbow. So starting at red for the root chakra and then moving all the way up, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and violet. And so we are going to play around in our creative journals, exploring the color red. We're also going to use powerful affirmations. So things like, I am grounded. I am safe. It is safe to be me in this world. Money comes easily and effortlessly into my life. Those kinds of affirmations we're going to explore in our journals, along with all the creative play that we're doing through painting and playing with those colors, because so much of this is about opening energy, not feeling so blocked, not feeling so rigid, not being attached to all the rules and the regulations that we tend to live our life by, that really ultimately sucks out the joy in so much of living. And we forget that life is supposed to be fun and playful and more connected to this flow of energy, rather than blocking and keeping it confined and feeling that rigidity that often happens in our day-to-day doldrum of life, right? So that's what we're doing with creativity. Another thing you can do is, when you think about getting grounded, when you think about the roots and rooting yourself in a strong foundation, imagine, what's the symbolism of that? The symbolism of that would be the trees, and imagine those trees that need to really get rooted. I think it's in episode 2 where I talk about feeling uprooted. And, that can so often happen in life, but eventually we have to find our new ground again. We have to find our new foundation. We have to grow those roots a little deeper and find that stability. And so you might even just get out in the trees, just be in nature. Maybe doing a tree pose, something that's very grounding, which is a yoga posture. Maybe it's just getting your bare feet in the dirt and closing your eyes and imagining yourself standing grounded, having roots grow from your feet down into the dirt. All of those things can help you connect to your root chakra. And then it's about listening. Then it's about exploring, becoming a witness to what's happening and trusting that what you're hearing is guiding you. So being really open to what you're feeling and letting it be expressed in some way, whether it's through a journal or verbally, or through painting, or through a good cry, whatever it is that you need, recognizing that in yourself. That's what this self-discovery path is doing. That's what this exploration of chakras is doing, because it's you learning more about you. And when you learn more about you and say, hey, look at this, I have never felt totally safe in my life, and I maybe feel really blocked in my root chakra. And if I do this yoga pose every day, and if I get my feet in the dirt every day, and I practice saying this affirmation that makes me feel strong and powerful and safe and grounded, then I all of a sudden feel a new sense of power within me. I feel energized. I feel the current. I feel that movement. I feel that opening in my root chakra, in my foundation. I feel more grounded and stable. So every single chakra has that same story and that same amazing deep wisdom and power that can help transform our life, that can help bring a sense of clarity, that can help you feel more balanced, that can help you feel more energized, that can break patterns so that you have a new sense of awareness, and that can really make you feel better. It's about enhancing your well-being through the chakras, through energy, through flow. So I encourage you to explore a little bit more about your own body, your own emotions, your own life. Where do you feel blocked? Where do you feel open? What are the reoccurring patterns in your life? Are they related to food? Are they related to money? Are they related to blocked creativity? Are they related to finances? Are they related to not being able to speak your truth, not find love, not be able to trust life or to see the vision of where you want to go? What is it for you? Share with us. Join our A Free Spirit Life community on Facebook and let us know what are you learning about yourself from listening to these podcasts and exploring your chakra system. And if you are feeling moved to learn more about this whole topic, you can still join the Live Freely Circle. That is my monthly membership online group where we come together and explore a theme each week that helps us dive more deeply into our own life, but really helps us learn how to deal with our stress and break free of our reoccurring patterns so that we can live more freely. And for the next couple of months, we are exploring each week a new chakra, and we're doing creative art journaling. We are practicing affirmations, guided meditations, and it's really going to be awesome. So if that is speaking your language, you can still join the circle. It's just $30 a month, and you can go to afreespiritlife.com, click on the Live Freely Circle, and just click on the bottom to join. You can either join for just 1 month at a time, or you can join an ongoing membership. Okay, my friend. So thank you for taking the time to listen today. As we close out the show, your free spirit tip today is listen to your body and honor your energy this week. Notice your energy level. Where do you feel depleted? When do you feel depleted? When do you feel excited? And where do you feel it in your body? When do you feel inspired and energized? And where do you feel it? What triggers your scarcity, feeling of lack, or when you feel just really afraid that you're going to run out of money or resources? Where do you feel that in your body? When do you feel at peace? When do you feel love? All of these things are in your mind and in your body, and they intersect at your energy centers, your chakras. Pay attention to it this week and see what you learn about yourself along the way. Have a great rest of your week, and I can't wait to see you next time when we share another great topic that will help bring more balance to your mind, body, and spirit. Happy day.